there! Today, we're going to explore the 12 tenses in English. Understanding these tenses is key to expressing yourself clearly in any time frame, past, present, or future. Now, don't worry, this is just an overview. We'll go through each tense in detail in the upcoming videos, so take it one step at a time. Let's dive right in. First, let's talk about the present simple. This tense talks about things that happen regularly or facts. For example, I play soccer every weekend. She works at a bank. The Earth orbits the sun. We love ice cream. They go to school by bus. Next is the present continuous. This tense describes actions happening right now or around the current time. For example, I am eating dinner. She is studying for her exam. We are watching a movie. They are playing soccer in the park. He is not listening to me. Now, let's discuss the past simple. This tense talks about actions that happened at a specific time in the past. For example, I visited London last year. He finished his homework. They played soccer yesterday. We watched a great movie. She studied at the university. Moving on to the past continuous. This tense describes an action that was happening at a specific moment in the past. For example, I was reading a book when you called. She was cooking when it started raining. We were playing soccer all afternoon. They were watching TV when the power went out. He was working late last night. Next, we have the future simple. This tense talks about actions that will happen in the future. For example, I will call you tomorrow. She will visit her grandmother next week. They will play soccer on Saturday. We will meet at 6 p.m. He will help you with your homework. Let's move on to the future continuous. This tense talks about actions that will be happening at a certain time in the future. For example, I will be working at 8 a.m. tomorrow. She will be traveling at this time next week. They will be playing soccer in the afternoon. We will be watching the game at 9 p.m. He will be sleeping when you arrive. Now, we have the present perfect. This tense talks about actions that happened at some point in the past and are connected to the present. For example, I have visited Paris twice. She has finished her homework. They have played soccer many times. We have watched that movie before. He has never been to New York. Next is the present perfect continuous. This tense describes an action that started in the past and is still happening now. For example, I have been studying for 3 hours. She has been working here since 2019. They have been playing soccer all afternoon. We have been waiting for the bus for 30 minutes. He has been practicing guitar every day. Now let's discuss the past perfect. This tense talks about an action that was completed before another action in the past. For example, I had finished dinner when she arrived. She had already left when the phone rang. They had played soccer before it started raining. We had watched the movie before reading the book. He had never traveled by plane before. Moving on to the past perfect continuous. This tense describes an action that was happening for some time before another action in the past. For example, I had been studying for 2 hours when you called. She had been cooking for an hour before the guests arrived. They had been playing soccer all afternoon. We had been waiting for 20 minutes when the bus finally arrived. He had been working there for 5 years before he quit. Next, we have the future perfect. This tense describes an action that will be completed before a certain point in the future. For example, I will have finished my homework by 7 p.m. She will have left by the time you arrive. They will have played soccer by noon. We will have watched the movie by tomorrow. He will have completed the project by Friday. Finally, we have the future perfect continuous. This tense talks about an action that will be happening for some time before a certain point in the future. For example, I will have been studying for 3 hours by the time you arrive. She will have been working here for 5 years next month. They will have been playing soccer for 2 hours by noon. We will have been waiting for an hour by the time the bus arrives. He will have been practicing for weeks before the concert. If you'd like to practice these tenses further, you can head over to our website, where we have a tenses trainer designed to help you master them. Thanks for joining me today. Remember, this is just the beginning, and we'll cover each tense one by one in the next videos. Take your time and happy learning!